Uh, Thank you, Nasab. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. I need someone to approve the past minutes, please. Thank you, Sarah. And can I have someone to second that? Thank you, Jordan. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. We're going to move on to the president's report.
Hi, I'm getting some feedback, but okay. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you've had a good return to school and that you're enjoying your classes. I know that online learning is rough, but hopefully you have a bit more time to pursue some of your own hobbies and spend time with the people you live with. So yeah, it's been a busy September, obviously at CUSA, but lots of exciting updates. Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Okay, awesome. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is just not that good. Okay, so number one, we closed the annual general survey. We received nearly 1,000 responses, so that's really good chunk of the population, and we're already starting to incorporate the feedback, especially in terms of providing more support for COVID-19 and online learning. So we announced the winners yesterday. We're currently analyzing the data, and we'll be creating a plan of action and communicating our findings both to students and admin. In terms of advocacy, we did the joint call for recorded lectures and asynchronous learning. I've had some really good conversations with the provost and the president's office.
Sorry, did somebody say something?
I just got muted, but I think I'm back. I just said. Anyways, okay, continuing. So basically around the asynchronous learning and the recorded lectures, the university can't actually force students to professors to follow any regulations, but they say that they're going to really be pushing the messaging, especially as the semester goes on, to encourage professors to be more compassionate, reduce the workload, and oh yeah, we also have some other stuff around academic accommodations, which I'll get into, and Matt will probably provide some updates as well. So we did Fall O, we did residence move-ins, we did the International Student Welcome event. That was really cool. We had some students and some execs on panels talking about their experiences and just interacting with students from all over the world. I was in different chat rooms talking to students who were in India, who were all over the world, so it was just really fun. And then I also participated in the hiring board for the new equity officer at the Student Experience Office. I also attended the Senate meeting, and we approved the winter semester online, as I'm sure you've heard. We also have considered some options for compassionate grading. It was an early discussion, so if you do have any thoughts on this, please let me know. But for now, it's looking at that if you do fail a class, it will be automatically considered unsatisfactory, and there's potentially going to be a 0.5 credit. Oh, I put UNS, but it's SAT that you'd be able to put to SAT 1 or 2 classes. Let me know if you have any thoughts. CashG is kind of spearheading this initiative, so I know Matt's been doing tons of amazing work communicating with different academic societies. So if you do have any thoughts on that, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to him. I've been doing lots of internal HR work, doing performance reviews, goal setting for the semester with the executive and also the full-time staff. I met with the Vice President of Students and Enrollment, Suzanne Blanchard. We discussed the university wanting to put forward much tighter messaging on COVID-19, and obviously the ways that we can support them as CUSA, and also kind of the management of cases in residence. We also talked about academic accommodations, rent relief for CUSA and its affiliates, including CKCU, and they were very opposed to that. And then in terms of the Aramark contract, which I've been talking about for a few months, a meeting has been scheduled between the stakeholder group, so CU Global Promise and its stakeholders are going to be meeting with the administration very shortly to talk about Aramark. In terms of ongoing projects, I'll just mention one of them. In terms of working with equity, the draft recommendations for our EDI institutional plan of action are out. Feedback is wanted. There will be a town hall on October 14th. You can register in this link, which is in the agenda. Everything else pretty customary, ongoing meetings. I attended the Raw Council in September. That was the September Raw Council, super exciting. I'll let Jay talk about that. And then month ahead, we're hoping to launch the divestment campaign. I've been meeting with different other successful student groups and universities who have divested. I'm in the process of coordinating a meeting with the Vice President of Finance, the President, and the Finance Manager, finalizing the promotional materials, and yeah, working with the GSA, U Ottawa Student Union, Climate Action Carleton. So hopefully that'll come out soon. When it does, please share with your network. There'll probably be a petition to like show support as well. So definitely get on that. I'm also going to be reaching out to meet with the Assistant Vice President of Indigenous Initiatives, Kahente Horn-Miller. And we'll also be launching the emergency fund, or it's going to be called the hardship fund, actually. And so the intake form and the process is going to be in its final stages. I know we've been talking about this for a while too, but we'll also be needing some counselors probably on the selection committee. So you can expect to hear from us via email in the coming days. And then I will also start working on our midterm report because we're coming up on month 6 as a team, and kind of looking at how we can accomplish the rest of our platform in light of COVID and everything this coming semester. So as always, love to chat. If you have any questions about CUSA, about any of the things I'm working on, things you need support for, personal things, please reach out to me, prez@cusaonline.ca, and we can always schedule a meeting. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're going to move on to the VP Finance report.
Hello, everyone. Hope it's been good getting back to school and starting classes. So I'll quickly go over a few things I've been working on. So Ollie's, is a few you may have seen, is open for takeout now. We won't be having dine-in, but we do have some different menu items on there. So if you're popping around campus and you're looking for food, feel free to stop in there. We had Frosh Week in September as well, so welcoming the new classes online through different orientation programs. That was organized by the SEO. The Student Care Legal Aid Program outlined, so that's something we've been chatting about for a little bit. So we had a presentation from Dell, who works at Student Care, and he gave us kind of like the full rundown of what it entails and what that would look like for students and kind of like the value that other universities have seen in Ontario. And I'll mention that a little bit later on in the report. And we also started clubs funding. So myself, Farouk, and Sam in the club's office, we've been working away, doing those meetings that go on for the next couple weeks as well. Ongoing projects, so the legal plan. Student Care is going to create a survey that we can send out to all the students to see if they have an interest in this program. So rather than just implementing it and trying to say like, hey, like this is something like we're going to do, we're going to actually see if people want to do it before we launch it. And use that data to better direct how we can like serve students and if there's a legitimate interest in this. We did get some positive feedback from the annual general survey that Kathleen made, so that was good to see as well. So the Emergency Relief Fund, as Kathleen mentioned, or the Emergency Hardship Fund. So last month when we did budget presentation, we put $40,000 of funding towards that pool of money to assist these students. And something that we chat with Morgan as well in regards to Capital Collective is that all the profits from the Capital Collective will be going to replenish that emergency hardship fund, so that basically anytime we're making money at Capital Collective, it's just going right back into supporting students and their financial needs during COVID-19. For the month ahead, just finishing up clubs funding, so we have another couple weeks of that that we'll be grinding away with. And then after that's done, just making sure funding's all set and having the checks sent out to clubs as soon as possible, because since they can't really come by the office anymore, we'll just mail them out and try and get that done as quick as possible. Have the emergency hardship fund ready to be applied for, and students actually submit those applications, as Kathleen mentioned. Again, seeking where CUSA can allocate resources to support students. So I know we do have this fund looking at a couple different things, but I have heard that we did get a lot of good stuff from the annual general survey that Kathleen put together, but also doing just more feedback from students now that COVID-19 is happening again. Working, I know like me, Tinu, and like Morgan and a few other stakeholders had a meeting today to kind of like do some beginning steps. So we're going to really try more to hear what students are looking for and how us as CUSA and the resources we have can better support those students. And then just continuing to work with student care, and also raising Empower Me and trying to get more students enrolled in that, because a lot of students do bring up mental health right now. So, and this being online, a lot of students don't even know it exists. So we do have it, it's here. Students use it, or some do, so let's try and get more on it during COVID-19. So as always, if you have questions, VPF CUSA online, and yeah, thank you very much.
Great, thank you. We're going to move on to the VP internal report.
Thank you. The month of September is usually a month of ongoing and never really stuff being completed. Needless to say, in the past month, we did have Frosh. It's nice to still be able to engage with all the new incoming students and still give them that sense of a Frosh experience. We had Clubs Expo, although with COVID, we still had actually around 160 clubs that signed up. So it was really exciting. Hopped on a bunch of them, saw that there's almost about 20 viewers per club giving their little spiel on what they are and what they provide. So that was super exciting. Just to see clubs having the opportunity to still engage with students and still see the execs who are putting in time to the club and giving back to the community. Clubs conference for the first time this ever was online. Usually it's done, it's a full day conference. But when I say full day, around 4 or 5 hour conference held on campus. This year we did, we had access to See You Learn. So we did online modules and gave access to club execs. Heard a lot of good feedback from it. Much easier for the club execs. And we found it to be more accessible since not all students are in our time zone. So no matter where you were, you always had access to it. Clubs committee got filled. We did an online election again through See You Learn, where students nominated themselves and then other execs got to vote on them. So the club size committee was filled, and then the club size funding committee was filled. Ongoing election preparations, slowly but surely it's creeping up on us. So just trying to focus on possible rules and regulations to host, since it is our first time hosting it online. So I'm trying to brainstorm for anything. If you have any ideas, please feel free to shoot me a message or an email. Any help is appreciated. One of our platform points was a new CUSA hub. So it's literally a couple days away. We're just populating it with information and up-to-date information on all the active clubs that we have, the appropriate clubs execs, and how to contact them. CUSA Council Instagram. So although we motioned to add the motion in last council, we forgot to, sorry, we're electing them now, this council. So hopefully our councilors had a chance to think about whether or not they want to join, and we'll be filling that later on tonight. Headshot, it's been a crazy busy time in the comms office, and just a busy time for our photographers. So we're trying to find a time that would be the most appropriate for our counselors. Vacant council seats. So one of the FBA counselors will be revoked of their position in the upcoming council due to the fact they've missed over 4 councils so far. Club preparations, still an ongoing thing. Some clubs are just getting into the swing of things, so they need help with a little transition of their documents, banks, and just some FAQs. Counselor eat-ups, again, I know we mentioned this last month. They should be done really shortly. Your faculty emails, and then that will be up and going. Hopefully we get those and both your headshots done at the same time so we can post them online. CEO job postings, we want to hire it obviously much earlier than usual. just to give the COs and DOs more preparation to prepare for this first online election. Obviously preparing the rules, regulations, and just think of other ways and other possible events that they can host to give all the candidates more exposure, since they will not have the opportunity to this year because it's all online. Capstone and Research Project Fund, it is something we are still doing. Again, I'm going to repeat this so you can toss on the word to your fellow Ravens, and if anyone's doing their final year thesis or capstone project and they need some extra funding, please do let them apply. Again, it can be found on the CUSA website. Clubs funding is ongoing. We have over 150 clubs that have applied. Takes up a big chunk of your day. So we're just grinding it out one by one. It's always amazing, a great time to like have these opportunities to just meet a couple of the club's execs who are dedicating their time. So really grateful for that. And then Amazon Prime student, if you haven't seen it yet, been selected to be a campus manager. So I'm basically just promoting all the benefits that Amazon Prime student has to offer. Doing more giveaways in the next couple of days, giving away a couple of Alexas and just survival kits to help you through your midterms. Next month, CEO DO interviews. And then this week I'll be participating in the undergraduate recruitment presentation. So the undergraduate recruitment's office is holding a little presentation. So I will be representing CUSA, just talking about what CUSA is, club societies, and what it is to get involved on campus. And in the upcoming month, we will have the September SIF deadline. So we only had a couple so far. So if you're anyone doing anything extracurricular, please let them do apply. Again, if you have any questions or just want to chat, have any ideas, please email me at vpi@CUSA online or on Instagram at FaroukL. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're going to move on to the VP Student Issues Report.
Yes, hello everyone. Hope everyone has had a great start to the school year. I know it's a very interesting one.
I think you might be breaking up a
Sorry?
bit there.
Huh? Can you not hear me?
I can hear her good. I think it might just be you, Ryan.
Breaking up a bit.
Yeah, I can hear it pretty good.
Can you hear me or? Yeah.
We can hear you too, New. I think Ryan's.
Yeah, I think that might be a problem.
Okay, well, if anything, the report is there for those who may want to read it. But as I said, interesting start to the school year, as we can all kind of relate to. So first, starting off, so past Mount Frosh, we have participated in a variety of events for Frosh. Obviously, it looked very different this year, but shout out to all those who participated and who we collaborated with and who were just, being positive overall. We also did residence move-ins as well. Again, kind of loved that, actually very intimate, and it was a very nice experience. I actually sat on the hiring board for the new equity officer for the SEO. So that was really, really fun, just because we really got to hone in on those. I think actually Kathleen even may have said something on that. We got to actually hone in on the new position. Really love it because it's very similar to equities. We actually just hired who it is going to be, so I'm very excited for the potential that the person has. This one actually stole from Kathleen's report because it was very important. Draft recommendations for the EDI institutional plan. It is out. I actually sat on, I'm actually one of the people who sit on the board for the EDI advisory group. So that's equity, wow, spacing out. It's equity, diversity, and inclusion. And the advisory group basically focuses on an action plan that we have. It's a 5-year action plan on how we could better, again, support marginalized and racialized communities at Carleton. So please, 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 if you have any comments, feedback, insights whatsoever, their town hall is on October 14th. It may sound like a broken record, but please go to it, especially because it's one of the chances that the university is actually making in order to hear our voices, especially those, again, who are marginalized. So quick tangent on that. So moving on, before play ask, yes, that was the my campaign that I launched this month. I really loved the feedback that I've been getting. Hopefully you all have actually been on it as well. So we had a Survivor Speak series. Shout out to Rise, Nora actually who's here, who is the Rise coordinator, did her thing in that, and GSRC. So we did that. Also the virtual art exhibition. I think this is one of the events that you've been hearing me say like for so long. It has launched. It's actually and ending its, I guess, run tomorrow. So please check it out if you can. Support your local artists who are also students and faculty at Carleton. And also, I collaborated with CDAC, which is another service center here at Carleton, with a sex and disability workshop. So that was really great. I also had meetings with CDAC. Ooh, okay. CDAC, it's not CDAC, but yeah, CDAC and Rise for Pop the Sigma, which is next month's campaign that focuses on mental health. We'll be again we'll be going in on that in the next phase. But yeah, Pop the Sigma is here. So for that, as I said before, it's a mental health awareness campaign, and for October, we're actually going to be switching it up a little bit, putting more infographics and more social media content and actual programming, just because we do realize that honestly, we're sitting all day on our computers for our classes. So maybe having an event that actually is pertinent to student issues may not be the best way to engage students. So look out for that because we have some really, really great content. We have a men's mental health panel. If Liam is here, shout out to him and a lot of others as well, as I put a poll on my Instagram. So he suggested that and it was already in the works. So thanks for being very vigilant in that. We have our hashtag normalized campaign / videos, which are coming up really great. Also, very, very big announcement. I actually landed an NFL player to help discuss some things about obviously mental health, not only within sports, but within men's mental health as well. As you could tell, men's mental health is a running theme for the month. For personal reasons and obviously general reasons as well. So NFL player Brennan Scarlett will be joining us for a quick conversation. Actually, no, not that quick. He's joining us for an hour or so. October 13th. So mark that on your calendars. It's actually a collaboration with the Black Student Alliance as well. So very, very happy to, again, have his time, especially because, he's still training. So very good on that. So next up, we have the career classes. So it's basically mindfulness and wellness. So that's going to be happening every Wednesday, and you could actually sign up for those. So it's on your time. So that will be launching as well. And I will be also collaborating with the Women's Center to do a PMS or hormone / mental health type of event. So for that one, we're gonna there's going to be an actual doctor who will be there to actually obviously hone in on information that is at hand and also ways to cope with it, because honey, PMS, it's real and it's evident, very evident, especially when it comes to controlling and dealing with mental health. Also, I've also been sitting on a committee, I guess a collaboration committee for the Black Student Wellness Month, which is also happening next month, so in October, and it's in collaboration with a bunch of stakeholders in Ottawa, from Ottawa U, so the psychology department at Ottawa U, so the Jamaican Canadian Society of Ottawa, the Trinidadian and Tobago Society of Ottawa, and so much more. So that's a whole separate type of events that's there, even if you don't identify as Black. It's also events that you should also look out of as well, just because we have some very, very great events there. So very excited to launch that as well. As for ongoing projects, yes, we started our free mentorship. Really fun. I got a mentee. Love her already. I love her already. So cute. So yeah, that's ongoing with that. COVID support and resources, Jacob touched upon it, and I think Kathleen as well, a little bit. So just actually just hearing the feedback, because that's our biggest concern, and how we should like switch our efforts or even maybe concentrate even more on that. So look out for that as well. So October is going to be a busy month for sure on support and resources. Obviously continuing to work on campaigns, First semester, again, going smoothly. Working on academic accommodations. So that's actually, hopefully this is not confusing anything with what Kathleen is doing as well. It's actually kind of the same thing. So obviously we've been hearing concerns about the overwhelming amount of coursework, how profs think that just because we're at home, suddenly we could do about 6 hours of work in like every class every week, which is definitely not the case. And then obviously implementing mental health regulations within the syllabus, contrary to popular belief. This has actually taken a very long time to implement because it has to pass through a bunch of parties, which is quite annoying, but it's fine. Moving on, flu shots at designated locations for Carleton students. So this actually hones in on one of my platform points for the pop-up clinics. Obviously, that can't happen physically anymore, especially with the rising numbers. So an idea that we had floating around was having designated centers who are already giving flu shots because it's coming up, flu shot season is here, so that they could also have a designated time for Carleton students, just because if you've been to a COVID lineup, oh, it's not fun. You have to get there at like 5 in the morning. So just seeing how we could better support that and work with that as well. So for the month ahead, seems short, but there's a lot jam-packed in here. Executing Pop the Stigma events. So there's that. Continue to follow up with academic accommodations in the pop-up clinics, as I previously mentioned. And obviously switching gears to Financial Literacy Month, which is in collaboration with Morgan as well. So yeah, for those who don't know, like always a month, at least 6 weeks ahead for other campaigns. So there is that as well. Oh, also, I didn't really put it here, but if there's any ideas that you all have for December, which is obviously Empower Me and Study Sacks, please let us know, as we want to, as obviously it's going to look, I feel like this is the campaign that's going to look significantly different than the past years. So if there's any feedback or insights in that, please let me know. Other than that, that's it for now. If you have any questions, you can always reach me by email at vpsi@cusaonline.ca or Instagram at tnubelly. Sincerely yours, in solidarity, Tinu. That's it for me.
All right, thank you. And we're going to move on to the VP Community Engagement Report.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? No? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, we can hear you.
Okay. I can only see like 4 people and nobody was responding into the chat. So I was like, all right. So I'll get started. This past month, we were able to officially launch the Capital Collective. So that's very exciting. We also had a contest, like a giveaway. So there's over 1,000 entries, which is really exciting. And I also got all of the counselor orders out. So I hope that everybody has their merch by now. So we have mailed everything out. I believe that there's still a couple of left for pickup in the office, so make sure you go get those. But otherwise, I hope that everybody really enjoys their merch. In terms of service centers, they had Expo, and some service centers had Frosh programming. Despite it being a virtual semester, I've heard really good things from different service center coordinators saying that there's been a lot of people that are eager to volunteer. So it's really good that people are still getting involved with the service centers, even though you can't be there in person, but there's still a lot of eager people. The brand ambassador program, so we did hiring over this past month, and that was really, really exciting. Again, the first time that we've ever done the brand ambassador program. So it was really cool to do virtual group interviews, save time, and was really interesting to see how people interacted, meeting each other on the first time in a Zoom call, answering the questions. It was really well done. I've since onboarded our 10 brand ambassadors, so that's really exciting. We have people from all different faculties, a whole bunch of different years, all different backgrounds, so it's really exciting. The street team, so the street team has been alive and well. I've started to give them more social media oriented tasks. because the street team can't do their in-person volunteering. So we're doing a social media campaign called Ravens at Home, where the street members could send in a video of themselves just introducing themselves and giving like one tip for how to study at home or a wellness tip or whatever it may be. So we're going to start rolling out that social media campaign soon, but it was a really great way to start engaging with the street team. And so far engagement there has been really great. And they're also a really great group to just consult with about anything CUSA related. They're always very responsive and usually have really good ideas. We're also, so the alumni mentorship program is also well underway. I'm helping with the promotional side of that because I have a pretty strong relationship with the advancement office. The applications are open now. So for our third, fourth, or even grad students, the alumni mentorship program, it's super valuable. I'd already been through the program myself. Last year, my mentor was, she worked at Shopify. So you can really gain some good connections there, and they can support you really well from your transition between like school and your professional career. So definitely check those out. As Tinu mentioned, we're participating in the First Year Connections program. I met with my first year mentee as well. Super sweet, super exciting. And last but not least, we also had Frosh. So big shout out to Ozzy as well for being able to execute a virtual Frosh, and everyone else that participated. It was really fun despite the circumstances. So job well done. Onto my ongoing projects. The street team welcome event will be happening hopefully soon. Recruitment's ongoing. I actually highly encourage that all the counselors and everyone else at least signs up for the street team, because that's where they also get pretty frequent updates about what CUSA is doing. And it's also another way for you to share ideas and things like that. And as I mentioned, engagement has been going really well. So I would like to say that the culture from what it was in the past has already improved, which is really promising. So I'm also working on Financial Literacy Month programming. So that includes Startup Fest. I'll be collaborating with SBSS. In addition, I'm also working on some professional development workshops. So that's the collaboration with the 3 Skills. So that's really exciting too. And one of my platform points that's actually going to be coming up next week, so like a week from now, brunch is on us. So it'll be a virtual brunch. Students can order food in, and they'll be reimbursed up to $15 for their meal. And essentially, it'll be an opportunity for students to ask anything. We'll probably do some breakout rooms, and they'll be able to ask about our plans, give us more feedback, even just the execs a little bit better, and try and close that gap as well. Scrolling down a little bit. Please. Thank you. So months ahead, again, ongoing engagement with the street team. As you may or may not be able to tell, it's a big priority for me, because although it's not necessarily the volunteer experience that people were looking for, it's definitely becoming its own sense of community. The Capital Collective, we are working on a brand new website, because I have been battling with our Haven Shopify website. So hopefully that'll make things a lot easier. And my platform point, the CUSA Marketplace, determining a better way to implement it, again, with cases rising, not really wanting people to exchange things and perhaps catching anything. So that one's a work in progress. If you have any questions, you can always reach me by email at bpc@CUSAonline, or you can DM me at Morgan Shinru. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. And we're going to move on to the VP Student Life Report.
What's up? Hope everybody is doing well. First, I just want to say shout out. Ollie's is open, so I'm enjoying my Ollie's right now for my dinner. And now on to my report. So past month, continued my planning virtual workshops, completed follow. So Frosh, our events were DJ Dance at Home. They're just some of them moderate. I moderated the Arkel study break, so some of you might have seen that. I was talking to the Arkels, just moderating it, tossing questions down to a lot of students. Maybe some are even in this chat right here. We did drag at CU, and then we did family food with Raw. So drag is also with Raw. So it was a great follow. Good times, even though it was online for sure. And yeah, on to the next. Discuss collaborations throughout the year. So that's going on. So just seeing how we can collaborate and see how we can make events good for students, even though it's online. So we're meeting with SEO, meeting with Raw. So it's continuous meetings. Ryan, can you go a little lower? Hey, Emily, you're welcome. Your question was dope. I had to pick it. Discussed, met with the university, discussed possibilities of having certain events on campus. So obviously with the cases going up, this keeps on changing day by day. Before it was a lot lower, so it was a lot safer, and now it's reaching heights that never happened really in Ontario. So it's kind of scary. So hopefully everybody's staying safe. So now it's looking at limiting events on campus and also how to be safe with COVID-19 and precautions for these events. So it'll change day by day. So we'll see how that goes. CUX meetings are still going on. So, still going on, discussing collaboration with many of the stakeholders of the university. And then the past month, we also had residence move-ins. Ongoing, yep, I'm meeting with the university. I have a meeting with the risk team in a week, I believe, on the dot, or 6 days. I'm meeting with the university and community stakeholders. Programming calendar fall semester. So this calendar is changing day by day, just due to the change in the cases. So this is the tentative schedule with a little delay in programming, just because we want to essentially change our programming to focus more on support for students at this time. Still fun, but also more focused on the support of students. And then CUX, just finishing our monthly calendar. We're getting it all down to one place. So if we can go a little lower, Ryan. Oh, and yeah, months ahead. Well, also, obviously don't sound like a broken record. Met with my mentee too. My mentee is dope. Just had to say it. Shout out to him. And now months ahead, online programming. So everything's been planned. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19 spikes, there are a few delays. And we're hoping to get the best program out for students. Again, provide an emphasis on support for students during these times. Been meeting with DNA to keep us updated on possible events. CX committee meetings. So now the calendar is basically being filled up, and now we're looking to make a wellness calendar. So we're hoping to make a wellness calendar because that's an important thing to focus on at this time. Met with Lansdowne Live to provide collaboration, provide Carleton students discounts and advantages. So we're asking for benefits for Carleton students in collaboration for future events. I met with Side Stage Productions, which is a production events in Toronto. So they are reaching out to see possible events for Carleton students, and hopefully in the future, probably not now, bring big people to Carleton. So that's kind of it for me. Didn't want to repeat a lot of things because no one wants to hear repetition. If you want to reach out to me, my email is vpsl@cusaonline.ca. My Instagram is osmanelmi if you just want to slide in. And lastly, get your ollies because it's delicious. Take care.
All right, thank you. And with that, is there a raw report?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I just want to say, firstly, to start off the report, shout out to Tinu for planning a great Before Play Ask campaign. I had the opportunity of attending the Sex and Disability workshop last week, and it was very well performed. So thank you, Tinu. And then to jump into our report, I'll speak on residence move-in. So those began on Wednesday, September 2nd, and ran through to Monday, September 7th. Students moved into the hours of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. with a strict time frame to move into their buildings. Throughout the week, Raw tented in the residence quad to aid students in directions and inform them more on the association and its services. In previous years, the association would hand merchandise out, such as calendars and t-shirts and stuff, but however, due to residence guidelines this year, we were unable to do so. Fall orientation kicked off on September 6th with the welcome ceremonies and ended on September 11th with the Arkel study break performance. This year, fall orientation operated completely virtual, which pushed us to plan a virtual events for the week. We received great engagement with all of our events, which is super great. We're super happy about because we were kind of worried about that, especially with COVID-19, how the engagement would be. But it was really great turnout. We hosted a speed mingling event, TikTok dance class, drag queen show, and executive feud. Two of those events were in collaboration with CUSA. And then most recently, we just hosted our virtual floor up election. We ran the election online and ended up with 24 successful candidates, or 24 successful counselors. Our council committee application has been sent out to our counselors, and committees will be formed this Thursday in hopes of scheduling our first committee meetings next week. We also introduced a new committee called the COVID-19 committee, which we thought was very necessary this year, especially with those students currently self-isolating in residence. We hope this helps us build ways for students to cope with the loneliness that COVID-19 can bring and self-isolation, as well as guide residents with more safety precautions. And then I'm also excited to announce that the association's first executive report is scheduled to release tomorrow. It is called the Raw Report and will essentially speak on all that the executives have been up to since we've been in office so far. And that's all for me.
All right, thank you. Is there a GSA report? There's not. Is there a CASG report?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
All right. Hey, everyone. I hope you don't miss me too much as council chair. I know it hurt Ryan's feelings. He's a pretty sensitive guy, as much as he likes to not admit it. But I'm happy to give my report today. So we have our elections actually currently ongoing. So the ballots, if your department election is contested, the ballot should be in your email right now until tomorrow around 10 p.m. So please vote. Our first council is probably going to be in about 2 weeks. We're looking at October 14th, 15th. Thanksgiving weekend is kind of throwing a wrench in that, so we're trying to figure out a way around that. There, we're going to get our budget passed for the year and get our internal equity action plan passed as well. This week, we're going to be hiring our executive coordinator, our media coordinator, and of course, our council chair and clerk. More exciting news, Academic Initiative Fund is opening on October 15th. There's $8,000 in funding to grab. So if you're doing capstone projects in your engineering courses or science research as well, I know there's going to be less large clubs events, but please, if you are a club and are doing fun and you need funding, please apply. I had a meeting with Nikki Harris, who's a PAPM student pushing for further racial equity changes in her department. Gave her some pointers on who she should be going to and what CASG can do to help her out in that process. So that went really well. She'll be visiting CASG Council in either in the October meeting or the November meeting, whatever she's ready to do so. In terms of permanent grade reform efforts, as you guys know, CASG is working with the Senate committee in charge of that process. We're doing the student consultation. I'm trying to meet with every academic department / faculty society in the next 3 to 4 weeks. I have a meeting with the Sprott Business Student Society next week. Looking forward to that. In terms of what Kathleen mentioned earlier with the COVID compassionate grading policy, I guess this kind of doubles as a Senate report, but our provost, Jerry Tomberlin, brought forward a recommendation to the Senate committee in charge of that to have all failed classes be converted immediately to unsatisfactory, so it doesn't impact students' GPAs this year. So I talked to Kathleen shortly after the Senate meeting, and we kind of brainstormed the idea of allowing students to have 0.5 of their credits per semester to dedicate to satisfactory. And the reason why, I'm changing I was advocating for SAT unsat fully during the summer. But after talking with the Senate committee on that issue and whatnot, it's just not viable to bring that forward to the Senate. It won't pass. And I'm not in the business of trying to pass policy that doesn't have a chance. So this is the best way to find a way to meet in the middle with faculty, with staff, because they bring some valid points where we could be in this situation for not just this year, but for multiple years, for the next year or two to come. And we have to be ready. Don't want to just do a blanket SAT unsat for the next 2 years, because that's going to impact the value of a Carleton degree, and that's not the mission of CASG to cheapen a Carleton degree. So this is the best way to meet in the middle, make sure that students have that peace of mind that if there was a course that their Wi-Fi crashed during a midterm exam or something and they got an immediate fail or something like that, that they can find the SAT policy at least for one course to help balance out some of the stress from the upcoming year. So we're working with that. The letter was sent to the administration this afternoon, and I sent the same letter to the Senate committee this morning, who met at 9 a.m. So they read it. I'm still waiting on their response, but I'm hoping that they're receptive to it. The committee chair has already said to me that he supports the idea. He's just trying to get other people on board as well. So I'm hoping that we can get some traction there, because that'd be a really great win for students this fall. Yeah, other than that, that's it for CASG.
All right, thank you. So is there a Senate report then, or does that about cover it? There's not a Senate report. Is there a Board of Governors report? Nope, okay. Is there a constituency report? No constituency report. Are there any committee reports? I believe there is one, yes. CNS Funding Committee.
Yeah, we haven't completed our club's funding, but kind of like what I mentioned earlier, we had about 150 clubs apply for funding, and I know a few more are still interested in it. So I'll have a more detailed committee report in the upcoming month.
Okay. And that wraps up the reports. Are there items for information? Can raise your hand or. Nope, okay. Questions? One in McKenna.
Yeah,
Okay, sure, yep.
I don't know if I can just ask it, but just it came to mind when Tina was talking about the flu shot thing, and I was thinking if Raw has any info on potentially having clinics for resident students, just because I know a lot of them are all nervous about travel right now. So I'm thinking, is there any word on that or potential for work on that?
Sure, Jaden, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, currently for testing for just residents in general, for COVID-19, we do have the residence nurse. So she's been going to students' rooms to test people, but the rate to get your results back is about like 5 days. So it's up to the students, depending on how sick they are, if they want the nurse to test them, or they can also go to the Brewer Center to get tested because the results come back quicker. As for the flu shot, I haven't met with Laura this week yet to discuss on how, like, if that's going to become part of the COVID testing as well. But nothing has been brought up so far. So I can definitely bring that up with her when I meet with her next and get back to you on that.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay, thank you. Liam, you have a question?
Hey guys. So my question is just about Capital Collective. I just want to know what the vision is, and I remember Jacob saying something about the money going back to relief funds, and like, so what does that entail? And is CUSA making money off this? So that's my question.
I'm sure, Jacob, would you like to answer?
I mean, like, maybe we can split this one. I can talk
Sure.
more about.
I was gonna say, Morgan, you know enough about it anyways if you want to just answer
Yeah.
the question.
Okay, here you go, Morgan.
Okay.
It's your project, so.
Yeah. So the overall vision of the Capital Collective is, one, want to elevate the style of like merch that you can get, not limited to the like typical things they see in the bookstore. And two, as weird as it might sound, it also provides a different sense of community because our merch is like all limited edition. It's designed by students for students. So it definitely is something that's different. And again, like kind of a tangible item that makes you feel like you're a part of the community and that people can still kind of rock their Capital Collective merch like wherever they are, whether it's virtually on online school or if you're just out and about. And then in terms of like where the funds are going, so as Jacob mentioned in his report earlier, the funds, like the profits will be going back into the emergency relief fund. So we put out will just come back to the student. Answers your question.
And do you think that this is what we should be focusing on right now?
That's a good like question too. I mean, in terms of like where our efforts are, we do have a lot of other efforts targeted towards addressing student issues. Another thing, another reason why we also decided to start the clothing line is because at the time, not all of our businesses were open to full capacity. So we still had bills to pay, and when we literally cannot open some of our businesses at the time, like in the summer when we couldn't open Ollie's and the wing will be closed indefinitely. That's why we had to supplement that income as well. But again, we can then put that money into the emergency relief fund.
Thanks for your answer.
Okay.
I also want to mention something
Tinu,
as
you have
well.
a question or?
Yes, I do. Two things,
Okay.
if I can. Ryan, firstly, towards what Morgan was saying as well, because while she has been working tirelessly to obviously launch the collection, it was also an idea that we had in terms of students helping students. Good question though, Liam. Like, we're not making profit off of it. It's going back to our emergency relief fund, which I believe, yeah, which Kathleen and Jacob have been working on as well. So in terms of like, you'll obviously see the, I guess, the intake of that very, very soon, because it's launching, I believe, in a few days, but didn't hear it from me. Jacob and Kathleen can kind of correct me if I'm wrong. And the amount is pretty substantial compared to where we pooled our efforts to. But in terms of something else I wanted to address, also with Mackenzie's question towards Jay as well. This could also be a throw out to council and to see what you think about it. Apparently, Ottawa U has a COVID testing facility at their campus. So just wanted to see what everyone's thoughts are on possibly having a testing center on like our campus at Carleton. Just seeing if, do you think it will be feasible? If not, obviously this still needs to be discussed with head officials at Carleton, or do you think it will be again, or do you think it will be kind of redundant in a way? So that's kind of something I wanted to throw out as well, because maybe that could help some of the situations, especially with people on res, and obviously those in the Carleton community, because again, the wait lines are doing a lot right now. But yeah, I just wanted to see if we could throw that out there too, but thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question.
So yep. So we're gonna move on to we're gonna continue on to questions for a second, but let's
Okay.
just reiterate exactly what's going on here in regards to council. So we just went over items for information, and now we're in the question period. So items for information that is essentially the time when you're going to be looking to deliver information. For instance, maybe we're going to be setting up a poll, and you can talk about a COVID testing station, for instance. That's a great time to bring that up. Question period is specifically for someone who has a question which needs to be directed towards someone, at which point they can answer. And to clarify those rules just a little further, exactly how it works with question period, as everyone on this council is allowed up to 2 questions. It's 2 questions, and for any given question, you're allowed 1 follow-up. So you can ask a question, do a follow-up, ask a question, do a follow-up. But we're gonna try to avoid the open forum and everybody talking and on and on and on. Okay. Oh, no apologies. It's fine. So we're gonna move on here. Let's see. Mackenzie, you have a question? Yes.
Oh no,
No. No question.
no, I was just gonna comment on Tinu's thing, but it's not a question, so move on.
Okay. That's true too. And yeah, let's also try to avoid too much talking in the chat here for questions and all that. And I see that Pierce has a question.
Yeah, I have a question just, I guess, for the executive. I would like it was said in the chat, but I would, I guess not really a question. Never mind. I was going to ask them to, I can't ask them a question. Never mind.
Okay. All right, does anybody else have a question?
I have one.
Okay. Oh, sorry. One thing too. So when you do have a question, just use the raise hand functionality there on the
Okay.
side, so we can kind of have some order to make sure everybody kind of forms a queue. But yep, sure, go ahead.
It's just a question to what Tinu just said. I was wondering, for like the U Ottawa clinic, if it was like an Ottawa Public Health that just set up at a U Ottawa location, so it's not technically theirs, it just happens to be there, or if it's actually like their own location, like their own testing that they were able to get like testing kits and everything, the actual school, if you know any information on that.
Sure, Tina, would you like to answer?
Yeah, I can. It's word that it's news that actually just
Okay.
got today. So I just looked at it and I was just like, oh, if U Ottawa has one, I was thinking, would it actually benefit Carleton students? But if it's, I'll actually look into it, because I was kind of surprised that the campus kind of allowed it to come on there. And because when it came to the pop-up clinics for me, because I wanted to do, like, if COVID wasn't a thing, I actually wanted to do the flu shots, have a center actually on campus, but the university said no. So
Okay.
I was thinking how to basically bypass that if necessary. But I can get you that information if you would like me to.
It's
or
okay.
if
It's just that I was thinking, like, I used to work for the city, so it's probably just like the city that set it up there, and it's like making it convenient for them. But yeah, okay, that's good.
No problem. Thanks for the question, though.
Okay. Pierce, you have another question? Your hand's still up?
Yes, I figured it out. Sorry.
Okay.
My question is to the executive about the Capital Collective. Have you guys considered making that a part of your brand, that the funds from Capital Collective is all going towards your emergency fund? Because I feel like that would first boost all of your guys' momentum on this, and also make it not look kind of scummy, because if a lot of students would go it off bad if that was the case of you guys just making money off of it. But as we know, that's not the case. So I would publicize that just for.
Yeah, I can answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Pierce. The thing is, we were just waiting to launch officially the emergency fund because it hadn't been like unveiled yet. But once it does come out, we'll announce it. We'll announce like how the money's being reallocated. But regardless, CUSA is a non-for-profit, so it's not like we can make money off a clothing line. Like, all the money that we collect from any of our initiatives obviously goes straight back to students.
Of course. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions? I see iPhones unmuted themselves. Okay, not. Additionally, iPhone, you could identify yourself. That'd be good. I didn't see you there before, but you should identify yourself as beyond iPhone. Oh, it's Helena. Okay. Okay. So with that, we're going to end the question period. We're going to move on to other business, which means we're going to be moving towards the first motion of the night. Fruit, if you'd like to, there we go. I believe it's the motion to fill the Executive Compensation Review Committee. Yep. Okay. Presentation summary. Whereas bylaw 4.3.6 reads, the Executive Compensation Review Committee shall A, undertake a thorough review of the executive compensation, B, make use of all relevant information from outside organizations, C, include in its research all relevant information from within the association and corporation, including but not limited to the budget, audited financial statements, and archived reports submitted by both the Financial Review Committee and the Executive Compensation Committee. D, the committee shall present its report and recommendations for adjustments to council no later than the November meeting to be ratified by CUSA Incorporated. E, submit a final copy of the report to both the Vice President of Finance and the CUSA Finance Manager. And whereas bylaw 4.3.5 reads, the composition of the Executive Compensation Review Committee shall be as follows. A, 3 constituency representatives appointed by council. B, 3 students at large appointed by council. C, either the finance manager or general manager of CUSA. And D, the vice president of finance. And whereas bylaw 4.3.7.1 reads, CUSA Council shall no later than the December meeting make a final decision regarding the recommendations of the Executive Compensation Review Committee. CUSA Council shall, in both a meeting of the association and a corporation, put forth their final decision as a motion for the upcoming term. Information transfer, be it resolved that the Executive Compensation Review Committee be struck for the 2020 through 2021 school year, and be it further resolved that the following committee positions be elected: A, 3 counselors, and B, 3 students at large. Moved by Farouk Al-Muflahi, seconded by Jacob Howell. Farouk, would you like to motivate?
Yeah, I think it was self-explanatory. Thanks to Ryan for reading the whole thing out. We are doing this a bit earlier than usual, just to give the members of the committee more time to just do their research and just be better prepared and be confident when they have to prepare and what they have to present. That's about it.
Okay, any questions? No, I see none. So first of all, motion to strike. So we're going to do the first be resolved. The Executive Compensation Review Committee be struck for the 2020 through 2021 school year. Motion to strike. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the motion passes. And be it further resolved that the following committee positions be elected: A, 3 CUSA counselors, and B, 3 students at large. So is there anyone that would like to motivate themselves or another student for the position that is a CUSA counselor? All right, I see 3. Just a quick review of what we're going to do. We're going to go one at a time, and you're going to introduce yourself, say why you think you'd be a good fit for the position. Then we're going to open up for a question period. Okay. Starting with Kathleen, is your hand up deliberately or okay? All right, Nora, would you like to?
I think I have a capability committee and honestly do a very good job at it. I think within what we're supposed to do within the committee, it fits the experience that I have. I've also heard about the committee from a previous counselor that's been on it, and I think I would be a good fit according to that as well.
All right, thank you. Liam?
Hey guys, my name is Liam. I study economics. So in econ, you definitely learn how to find equilibriums, and I want to help find a balance for a good pay, a good salary for executives, while making sure that it represents what the students believe is worthy for them. And so for that reason, I want to be part of this committee.
All right, thank you. We're going to open up for a question period. If you have a question for any of the candidates, you can raise your hand, but that question will apply to all candidates.
Actually, Ryan, Sarah also had her hand up for the committee.
Me as well.
Oh my God, my.
It's
All
okay.
right, long day. Sorry, Sarah, my bad.
No,
Go ahead. Already got your name down the ballot. I just.
Should I go? Should I start?
Just yep, short speech.
So, I'm Sarah. I was on the committee last year. I loved it. I really enjoyed the experience. I learned a lot from it. I did introduce a completely new thing. I was the only international student on the committee, and I was able to show a completely different aspect that was indeed needed. I'm not going to disclose certain information, but it was definitely needed at the time. I believe I can take what I learned last year, implement it this year. Of course, this committee is not just about what is being paid. It's about are the duties and the responsibilities of the executives that fall under each position compensated fairly and at what expense? So there's benefits, there's salary, there's a lot of stuff that comes into it. It's not just the amount of money. I believe I have the experience that I could implement this year once again, and that's it.
All right, thank you. And I have gotten word that there's another counselor who would like to run.
Yeah, they emailed me in, so if you don't mind, I'll just be on their behalf.
What's their name?
I'll type it out. Mohammed. Sorry, just let me load it up. There you go. Council, September. Set compensation. All right. I read. Good evening, counselors. My name is Mohammed Dafallah. I'm a second-year engineering student, and I apologize for not being able to attend today's council meeting. The following is my reasons why you should elect me to be part of the exec compensation committee. I am a second-year student who has just been introduced to CUSA and getting involved on campus. Although I am still early in my years at university, I love the community and want to give back to it anyway in every way possible. So for that reason, you should elect me, Mohammed Dafallah, to serve on the Exec Compensation Committee. Thank you. That's Mohammed Dafallah.
All right, thank you. And now we're going to open up the question period. Does anyone have a question for the candidates? All right, I see no questions. With that, we're going to move the counselors out of the room. I'm just going to wait for that to happen.
Ryan, do you want us to leave?
There should be a waiting room functionality. Just
Because nothing popped up, so I was just wondering.
Looks like maybe having some technical difficulties here.
No worries.
Farouk, everything looking good?
Sorry, did I miss something? You guys were just lagging out a bit.
Oh, yeah, we need to move the applicants into the waiting room.
My apologies. Noor. Putting waiting room.
There we go.
One sec. I'm just putting the rest. Liam. And Sarah. And then Mo's the fourth one, but he's not here.
Okay, perfect.
Good to go.
All right. Is there anybody that'd like to speak on behalf of any of the candidates? Just raise your hand. All right, I see none. And then with that, we're going to move on to the voting. Just give me a quick sec here. Perfect. Okay. All right, link's been posted into the chat. You have up to 3 votes.
Ryan, can you see my screen?
I can see the September council meeting, yes.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure people,
Okay.
like my voting wasn't being viewed.
No, okay.
It tends to happen every month, so I just want to double check this time.
Okay, currently waiting on a few counselors to vote. Okay, and the results are in. The results are Nor, Liam, and Sarah have won the positions. All in favor?
Sorry, do you mind repeating who won so I can make a little tick beside the names?
Yep, that's Nor,
Yep.
Liam, and Sarah.
Thank you.
Okay. And where were we were voting that in? Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Motion to destroy ballots. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. Farouk, if you'd like to invite 3 applicants back into the room.
Yeah, I'll do that now.
Okay. Just let me know when.
They should all be back in now.
All right, congratulations to the 3 applicants that were here. You all got in. We're going to move on now. Be it further resolved that the following committee positions be elected. 3 students at large. And Kathleen, are you still having wireless problems? Okay. Okay, so we're looking for 3 student at large to fill in the position. Now we're looking for 3 of them. Is there anyone here who'd like to recommend themselves or another student for the position?
Sorry, Ryan, can you let us know which committee this is for? Sorry.
Oh, this is the same one. This is the motion to fill the executive compensation review.
Okay, thank you.
Ryan, no
Sure.
student at large has emailed me for these positions.
Okay.
Unless
Millie, are you a student at large? Would you like to run?
Hi, yes, I am
She's
a
not.
student at large. I'm just here like as a proxy as well.
Oh, okay. Sorry, did you want to run for the position? Or?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay then. Yes. Okay. I'll just leave your hand up there so don't forget about you. But okay, yeah, sure. Okay, student at large, Millie. I'd like to give a short speech about why you think you'd be good for the position.
Sure. My name is Millie. I'm in my 5th year of health science here at Carleton. I have a minor in comms. I've been pretty involved over the last 4 years. I served 2 years on the Clubs and Societies Committee, which was pretty cool. I've been in the leadership of CUSA clubs since my 2nd year here. So I'm really familiar with that aspect of things, but I'd really like to learn some more, a little bit more about the compensation, and a little bit more about the nitty-gritty role of the executives tend to play, a little bit more behind the scenes, and find out more about what goes on there. Partly just because of my own curiosity, and I hear a lot of things, and I'd like to kind of work on this committee to help make things make sense in my head. Thank you. That's pretty much it.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Millie? All right, I see no questions. Farouk, could you move Millie into the waiting room?
Yeah, we'll do that now. You're good to go.
Okay, is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the applicant? Sarah, go ahead.
I'm not speaking on behalf. I am gonna comment. Is that okay?
Yes, yes, you can, yeah.
So I just want to comment. Millie seems like a, like a very dedicated person. I know she's done a lot in Carleton. I just want to point out one thing about what she said right now that leaves me a little iffy, which is the fact that she wants to be on the committee in order to find out what's happening behind the scenes. I feel like there should be a little more reasonable, less backdoor kind of thing reason to be on a committee. That's my personal opinion, and that's all. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak for any of the applicants? Noor, go ahead.
Yeah, I also would like to comment and not speak on behalf like Sarah. If that's okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with Sarah. There seems to be something a little off. And also in terms of like the affiliation with CUSA, like I think it needs to be made clear that we're not necessarily like taking away from their pay grade. Like that's not how it works. It's not like in terms of like affiliation with CUSA, like it's a non-for-profit organization, and like it needs to be a little bit more clear in terms of the intentions of finding out more about the compensation and being on this committee.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak for the speak about the applicant?
I think she was good.
No. Okay, okay. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Please put your hand up. Tinu, go ahead.
Hi, I would actually just like to speak on behalf of Lily, just to motivate her, if that's okay. So basically, yeah, Lily, powerhouse in terms of like being involved in anything and everything that Carleton has to offer. Think she'll be a great asset and have a unique perspective to this committee. But yeah, that's me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Would anyone else like to speak? All right, I see nobody else. We're going to move on to the voting process. Kathleen, would you like to speak? No? Okay, moving on to the voting process. Okay, it's been posted. You have one vote, or you can choose not to vote. That function is an abstain. So the way we've been structuring this at the moment, we count you not voting as an abstain. But considering there's only one applicant, we can directly add an option to abstain, yes. All right. Would you guys prefer that if there is a direct option to abstain?
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
nice.
we'll do that. No, give me a quick sec.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
It's not letting me vote. Is there any way I can just message you my vote?
It's not letting you vote.
Yeah, I'm having some
So-
computer difficulties, and for some reason I can't get my web browser off of my second monitor right now. So is that okay, or?
Yeah, that's totally fine. You can privately message me if you can't vote. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Ryan, do you mind resending the link? Because there is no option
Mhm.
for abstains.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yep. Okay. All right, let's give this one a shot. Okay, waiting on 2 more counselors.
I see Mackenzie left and just rejoined, so maybe she is one of them.
Hey, Mackenzie, can you hear me? Sounded like a gunshot. Yep, okay. We are at the required number of votes. Okay, results are in. Millie did not obtain enough votes for the position. Am I muted? I'm not. Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. Motion to destroy ballots, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. Approved. You can invite Millie back in. She's free to stay if she wants to. Oh, no, she's a proxy. No, she's going to stay.
All right, just
Okay.
re-invited Millie back into the room.
Okay. Yep. Millie did not get enough votes for the position, unfortunately. Okay. That leaves 3 student at large seats that are open. With that, motion to table, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. Going to move on to the second motion of the night. This would be the motion to elect CUSA Council Instagram officers. All right, presentation summary. Whereas CUSA Council Instagram is managed by the Vice President Internal and the CUSA Communications Office, information transfer. Be it resolved that CUSA Council vote to appoint the following positions: A CUSA Council Instagram lead officer, and B, CUSA Council Instagram coordinator. This has been moved by Farouk Amuflahi, seconded by Jacob Howell. Farouk, would you like to motivate?
Yeah. While we try to kickstart the Instagram page, I think it would be beneficial to both sides to have at least 2 representatives of council kind of share the ideas of what council is looking for and kind of take the lead on that as well. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any questions? Mackenzie, your hand's up. Do you have a question? I think it might have been up a while, so yep, okay. Okay. I see no questions. So this is small enough, we should be able to do this in one vote. So first of all, we're going to be looking at the CUSA Council Instagram lead officer. Is there anyone that would like to nominate themselves or another student for that position?
Sorry, I have a question.
Sure.
Could we get a bit of detail on like what these what these positions comprise of, or like what is expected? Just because I don't want to have any assumptions based on what the title is, but like what exactly is expected of us as like a lead officer or as a coordinator.
Farouk, would you like to answer?
Yeah. So the shared responsibilities for both positions would be you would kind of be running the Instagram page alongside myself to a certain extent, and the communications office, who will help you with graphics and just pushing our promotions of whatever event we're doing, whether it's council or introducing the counselors themselves. Now you'll both be like in communications with the counselors of kind of, so the counselors will come to you saying, hey, I think it would be nice if, say, we do this on the Instagram page, or one a certain faculty is hosting an event, they would come to you, and then the coordinator and leader officer will kind of just discuss it and just go about the little details. And then when it comes to posting and stuff, they either come to me or communication office for like graphics and stuff. If there's ever any DMs about people asking questions about a certain faculty and stuff, they'll be the ones kind of like responding to it. Now, the difference between the lead officer and the coordinator would be like the first person that the counselors would reach out to. So also another difference between these two is the lead officer would have more of a role. So when we were creating this, we envisioned it that the lead officer would have more time to put in. So they'll be kind of in charge, and like the head and the coordinator would be there for assistance when needed. Any other questions? Pammy, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're looking for a counselor that wants to fill this position for Instagram lead officer. Okay, we've got Emily Soa, or like to motivate another student, of course. Emily Soa.
Can I? Oh shoot!
Sorry.
Okay, sorry, Femi, you want to run?
Sorry, the mute button. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Perfect. So am I good to talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So I've decided that I think it would be a good idea for me to run for a lead officer working with the CUSA Council Instagram, as it was one of the main talking points I had when I was running for CUSA Council itself. A big goal that I had along with some of the other counselors in the Faculty of Public Affairs was to create a hub online for people to find more information on the council and kind of humanize it and create a more welcoming culture, and just remind Carleton students that CUSA Council are also undergraduates who are going through all of the same things as they are. And I actually had a list that I was about to send once I saw the Instagram was set up, of like some campaign ideas to do online, as well as like a meet the counselors type of thing, using those headshots that are planned to be taken up soon, doing week/month in reviews for CUSA, and important details that were talked about at council as deemed by council members, as well as different social media story challenges and highlights from organizations on campus that are working with the CUSA Council. So one of the major things that I thought was super important when running for CUSA Council was to create a space where there is open and active communication on a very important form of networking, such as social media, that students could reach out to council on. And I personally think that I would be a very strong leader in this position, given the fact that I've got some ideas already written down and have passion on the subject already. So thank you.
Sure, thank you. Femi, would you like to give a short speech about why you think you'd be good?
Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna. Is it possible to withdraw? And I want to run as coordinator. I misunderstood the like order of things.
Yeah, that's totally fine, actually. Totally fine.
Thank you.
Okay, so as of now, we have Emily Soa. She is the only candidate currently running. Does anyone have any questions for Emily? All right, I see no questions. Like I said, we're gonna do this a little differently, just for time's sake. So we're gonna do anyone who wants to run for Instagram coordinator now. They're gonna give their little speech and all that. We'll open up questions. You can choose, would you like to ask your question to the lead officer or the coordinator, and then we'll perform the vote. So we have Femi and Emma Rosell. Are you running for Instagram coordinator?
Yes, I am.
Okay, just so we're all clear. Okay, so is there anyone else who would like to nominate themselves or another student to run for Instagram coordinator?
Sorry, you were cutting off. Is Femi still running for lead officer or just coordinator?
No, she wants to run for Instagram coordinator.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I apologize if I'm cutting out. I don't know what's going on with my internet. So with that, okay, now Femi, would you like to give a short speech about why you think you'd be good as the Instagram coordinator?
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're clear.
Okay. Hi everyone. So my name is Femi, and I'm interested in running for Instagram coordinator just because I feel like I use Instagram a lot, like a lot of other people, but I think I understand a lot what people react to, what people engage with, how Instagram really works, how people get annoyed, like when people are skipping stories and stuff like that. So I think I would be a good help in the position, especially if I would work with Emily. And I really understand Instagram engagement and stuff like that. So I think that would be like a fitting position for me. Yeah, that's basically what I have to say.
Thank you. And Emma, would you like to give a short speech about why you think you'd be good for the position?
Hi everyone, my name is Emma. I would like to nominate myself for CUSA Council Instagram Coordinator. I believe I would be really good for this position because I've run several campaigns within high school on social media. I also believe that I have a really good understanding of what to do, what to look for in a campaign. I also find that I am really good at reaching out to people through social media. I really like to communicate through it. I am an active user as of, like, I'm sure everyone here is, but like, I feel like I really have a good understanding of how to use it. that's basically it. I think that I would be a really good leader in this position, and yeah, that's basically it.
All right, thank you. So now we're going to open up the question period. First, we're going to do questions for Emily, who's running for the Instagram lead officer. Once those questions are done, we're going to do questions to Femi and Emma. All right, so first of all, does anyone have any questions for Emily?
Emily, will you allow the counselors to update the stories?
I don't necessarily know what the stipulations of like who's allowed to give permissions to post, given it would be working with the communications department, but any contribution and feedback from council would very obviously be super important because that's the entire point of using a social media platform to connect students and council. So if the communications department is okay with it, then I would love to hear different ways that counselors would like to get involved, whether it be story takeovers or any form of campaign that the communications office would allow.
Okay, so when it comes to questions, let's all try and stick with the hand thing, and then we'll go one by one. Otherwise, you're going to have everybody jumping up, and it's just going to be 20 people all trying to talk at the same time. So does anyone else have any questions for Emily? All right, I see no questions. Does anyone have any questions for the Instagram coordinators that are going to be running your, well, coordinator position, of which there are two candidates, Femi and Emma? Does anyone have any questions? All right, I see no questions.
Yeah, I think
oh, someone's got a question.
Oh.
Oh, no, never mind. I thought you were somebody asking a question. You were not. Okay, yep, Farouk, can you move all three into the waiting room?
Sorry, I did have a question for Femi and Emma. Actually.
You do have a question.
I forgot to raise my hand. What's one online idea you have that you think would engage students or promote our council?
Femi, if you'd like to answer that, you may.
I just need a second, sorry.
Oh, that's fine, take your time.
Sorry, Farouk, do you mean like a post or like a campaign or like an idea? Like, can you like narrow down what you mean by idea? Just like a post or a campaign or something to engage students?
Yeah, I kept it open. So whatever you think would be a good idea for us to do on our social media, like what are some ideas? Like what goes through your head? That's basically what I'm trying to find out.
So for me personally, I think it's more like, obviously there's like getting counselors to kind of repost the things on their page, but I think like in interesting ways, like not just like reposting like the actual story, so that like let's say they follow all of us, they're going to see that same story over and over again, they're not going to watch it, but finding like different ways to have like maybe like a couple different graphics so that like you see something new, you're willing to engage with it again instead of like seeing the same thing over and over again. So I think like providing more variety to make sure that people kind of are seeing different things, and also like polls, little mini challenges, integrating TikTok and other like social media, obviously. So like, as I said, just like variety in any way possible.
Okay. Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Okay, let's send to the waiting room.
Oh wait, I think Emma didn't answer.
I don't think Emma
Oh, my bad. Sorry, it's two people running for this. Emma, go ahead. My bad.
It's all good. It's all good. I really liked your idea about TikTok. I think like that's like a really good platform to use right now. I think that'd be really cool if we could do that. The first thing that popped into my head is I've seen this on, I'm not sure if anyone else has seen this, but with certain influencers and stuff, a day in the life type of thing. I think that could be really interesting for counselors, especially because I find it's really hard to reach out to people in council because it's like, oh my God, they're so intimidating, you know what I mean? And I think doing a day in the life type of thing is a really good way of showing like, we are also students. We are also like really stressed about school. I think that'd be really interesting to see that we're all kind of going through the same boat sort of thing. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be every day because then no one would really want to pay attention to that. But like once a week, like kind of showing like, oh, like this is what I do in a day, like as a counselor, that type of thing. I think that'd be really interesting.
Okay. There we go. I gotta make sure we don't forget people. It's twice tonight. All right. Are there any other questions? All right, now let's move the applicants into the waiting room.
All right, I think that all three of them are in the waiting room now.
All right, perfect. Would anyone like to speak for any of the applicants? Morgan, you would like to speak?
Yeah, I would just like to motivate Femi because she actually helped me with the brand ambassador hiring. So when we were doing the hiring, like one of the questions I asked them as well was like in regards to social media campaigns and ideas. And when it came to deliberation afterwards, Femi was really helpful and insightful when it came to thinking critically about which things would actually be feasible, which ones would be beneficial and the most impactful. So I think that her understanding of social media is actually pretty strong and would be able to push the message and influence of the counselors and enhance that. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Ariana, you'd like to speak about the applicants or applicant?
Yeah, just really quickly. I don't know either of them personally, but I just actually really liked Emma's idea about how to do like the day in the life type thing for the counselors or for other people. I just think that that's like a really unique thing to just kind of pull out of nowhere when asked that question off guard. And like I joined council with the hopes of like really showing my faculty's trying to like make my faculty a little bit more visible in CUSA. And being in architecture, I haven't seen too many architecture students on CUSA Council. So like I thought that that would be a really cool way to like make each faculty really visible, showing like day in the life of each person's like work, doing school from home, stuff like that. So yeah, I just really wanted to speak on that because I thought it was really creative.
All right, thank you. Liam, you would like to speak?
Yeah, I'd like to motivate Femi. I've gotten to know her a bit now, and she's super organized, and she's really good at showing up and has a good attitude. And for that reason, I think she's organized enough to run this really well, and at least help for sure. And yeah, her Instagram's pretty good. So yep.
All right, thank you. And Masab, you'd like to speak?
Hey Ryan, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. You sound a little far away. If you can maybe move a little closer
Here,
to
is
the
that
mic.
better?
That's better. Yep.
I wanted to motivate Femi as well. I've gotten to know Femi through working with her at the main office. A lot of people don't see Femi has a very strong creative side to her, and I believe that that would be very useful in a council Instagram to incorporate some of her creative ideas. That would make it different from some of the other Instagrams that are out there, and it would be led in a very efficient way, I believe. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, Ryan, I just can't raise my hand. I wanna respect the rule, but it doesn't give me the option as host. I can't raise my hand.
If we're stuck, we're stuck. Yeah, go ahead.
I actually want to motivate Emma. I love the idea of a day in the life. I think it just makes us seem more approachable, more personable, and kind of helps us relate and helps students kind of relate to us, rather than just seeing us as counselors and being, I guess, quote unquote, maybe intimidated. But I think the biggest thing for me was the two different approaches that Emily had kind of one approach, and then Emma had another approach to this to these roles. And I think that's really key because when you're trying to run an Instagram page that's going to accommodate to your student body, you want to come up with as many different ideas. So I think the thinking process of them being both different will just in result have different ideas and more events. So for that reason, I think Emma would be a good fit for it.
All right, thank you. And I see no more questions. So with that, we're going to get to the voting. Okay, here we go. So you have one vote. You can vote to abstain. And you can have one vote for the lead officer and one vote for the coordinator. Just waiting on a few more counselors to vote. Still waiting on a few counselors to vote. If you guys can just get your votes in so we can move on. All right, and the results are in. For the CUSA Council Instagram lead officer, we have Emily. And for the CUSA Council Instagram coordinator, we have Femi. All right, all in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. Motion to destroy ballots. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. Farouk, if you'd like to invite the applicants back in. And additionally, we will move on to the next motion of the night.
And they should be trickling in one by one. You should be good now.
All right, congratulations to Emily and Femi for their new positions. And moving on to okay. And moving on to the next motion of the night, the motion to fill the Student Issues Action Committee. Farouk, if you'd just like to scroll down and then we can go. Perfect. All right. Presentation summary. Whereas the Student Issues Action Committee is responsible for researching and presenting to Council their findings, work on various issues affecting students. Information transfer, be it resolved, the Student Issues Action Committee be struck for the 2020 through 2021 year. Be it resolved, the committee shall follow these guidelines. 1, the committee shall operate in the manner prescribed in this document, as well as in Bylaw 8 and the CUSA Constitution in general. 2, the committee shall be responsible for researching and presenting Council papers and reporting to CUSA Council on a regular basis on the activities of the committee. 3, the committee shall work on issues that include but are not limited to housing, healthcare, tuition increases, and other social concerns students may share. 4, the committee shall work in conjunction with the CUSA executive to create position papers in response to government policies on various student issues. 5, the committee shall strive to make all meetings accessible to all interested parties, the media, and students with disabilities. 6, the committee shall strive to achieve a membership representative of the Carleton University student body. 7, the committee shall accept other duties as required. 8, the chair shall be the vice president's student issues. Be it further resolved that the following members be elected to a committee. A, three students at large. Moved by Tinu Akinwande, seconded by Furkan Muflehi. Tinu, would you like to motivate?
Yes, I would. So yes, the committee, I believe, was struck in July. Oh, no, August.
So the committee's already been struck.
Yeah, sorry, not struck. It's filled. Sorry. How I want to motivate this is that it's a great committee to be on. Obviously, with COVID being among us, we actually need this more than ever, especially having other, again, active student stakeholders on it as well. We obviously already have our counselors, which are obviously present here today. But the goal right now is to get students at large to not only get obviously an equal perspective, but to get unique perspectives as well. Just because I have some plans for how we could, again, elevate the committee and also support our students. So yes, this is how I'm motivating it.
Okay, so the committee's already struck. We're just looking for 3 students at large.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, any questions? Jordan, your hand is up. Do you have a question, or is that just up?
Sorry, I just left it up.
It's all good. Okay. So then in that case, we are looking for 3 students at large. Are there any students at large here that would like to motivate themselves, or would anyone like to motivate another student for the position? And if yes, then just put your hand up. And if you don't know how to do that, I'll explain.
Ryan?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a person, yeah, I'm putting up their hand, and I also have written emails from other people as well.
Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. Okay, so we have Donatella here. Currently, you said there were 2 people here currently? Or just
No,
one person
there's one person here, and
one
then
person here?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's try to get those names down the sheet so we all know kind of what's going on. And then while that's happening, Donatella, if you'd like to give a short speech about why you think you'd be good for the position, the floor is yours.
Yeah. All right, so my name is Donatella. I am a 3rd-year student in legal studies at Carleton, and I think I'd be great for the position as I feel like I have an ear to the heart of a lot of student issues. I've worked at the undergraduate recruitment office for 3 years on campus and the telecounseling center, where I've been able to speak to incoming Ravens about things that are really important to their post-secondary education, whether it be the cost of tuition and financial aid, mental health services, or just creating an inclusive environment on campus where they feel safe. So I feel like that kind of gives me a different perspective on what students look for as an undergraduate student. I also had the opportunity to be a first-year connections mentor for 2 years now, and it's an awesome experience. I've really enjoyed being able to connect with students on campus, but also being able to discuss with students about what they look for out of their student union, what they look for out of the different clubs and societies on campus, and what issues they hold near and dear to their heart. Although I've been involved in many different areas on campus, academically and socially, I do have a huge interest in being involved in CUSA, as I feel like CUSA holds a really unique role and a very important role on campus for students, as it's nonprofit and it's elected, and it holds a very important democratic role on campus too. So I'd really like to help students feel like their voices are heard on campus, both socially and academically.
All right, great, thank you. And Tinu, so we have Zoya and Sarah who are both wanting to run, and they've sent you emails?
Yes.
Okay, so would you like to read those emails out?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Zoya Davis. So hello everyone, my name is Zoya Davis, and I'm a 3rd-year journalism and women and gender studies student. I wanted to be a part of the Student Issues Action Committee because I want to take an active part in making this community better and welcoming for everyone here. Even though technically we're not in school or campus right now, we spend a lot of time there or involved with things regarding Carleton. Every decision that is made affects us, and I want to be a part of making good decisions that help everyone, especially Black, Indigenous, and people of color students. So that's Zoe Davis. I'll read Sarah's now. Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Phillip. I'm a 2nd-year social worker student. However, I will be finishing in 2 years, so technically a 3rd-year student. I transferred from Algonquin College, where I finished my social service worker diploma. This is where my passion for social justice issues began. I'm very big on educating others through advocacy and peaceful protests/demonstrations. Topics I am passionate about and have spoken about on the past are Indigenous reconciliation, low-income housing and wealth disparities, student counseling, and mental health supports, and more. With my foundational academic classes relating to human rights issues and my prior work experience advocating for clients of many different backgrounds, I feel as though I will be a good fit for this role. Running paper ads and events is something I have experience with as a student so this is why, and these are one of the aspects is why I feel student issues are incredibly important and would obviously nominate me to be on this committee as well. Thank you, everyone. Sarah Phillip.
All right, great, thank you. With that, we're going to open up questions. As 2 or 3 applicants are not here, all questions are going to be directed towards Donatella. But does anyone have any? Okay, I see no questions. With that, Farouk, could you move Donatella to the waiting room?
Yeah, I'm on it. They've been removed.
Perfect. All right, would anybody like to speak about any of the applicants? All right, I see nothing. So with that, we're going to move on to the vote. Okay, so this one's going to be a little different, but hopefully will be more clear for everyone. You have up to 3 votes, and therefore I've given you up to 3 abstains as well, so that everybody's clear. So up to 3 votes. And here is the survey. And if for whatever reason people can't vote, you can just privately message me. All right, that's what I like to see, fast votes. All right, our results are in. Donatello, Zoya, and Sarah have all gotten their positions. All right, all in favor?
Yay.
I know it's getting late, guys, but like I can't go forward until we get enough for the all in favor. This is the last motion. Thank you. All right, any abstains? All right, no, sorry, any opposed? Okay, any abstentions? All right, motion passes. All in favor to destroy ballots? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. Farouk, if you'd like to invite Donatella back in.
All right, they're back in, or they're joining.
Okay. Back in, or back in. Okay, there you go. Congratulations, Donatella. You're in, you got the position.
Thank you.
So that's good. So good. And with that, that wraps up the motions for the night. So that wraps up CUSA Council. Any final thoughts? Anybody would like to, any general announcements? Anyone have anything? Any birthdays? No? All right. Well, in that case, motion to adjourn. All in favor? Yeah, everyone's fast on that one. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. Meeting adjourned. Thanks for everybody for coming out. Always a
Thanks,
pleasure.
Brian, for being a great chair.
Thank you, Ryan, for staying focused throughout all of this. Thanks everyone for being here, and congrats to all the winners. Thank you for everyone who stepped up, especially our new social media coordinators and lead officer and members of committees. We need you, so thank you.
Yeah, good discussions had tonight, everybody. Love it.
Yeah, thanks for the questions. Good night, everybody.
Pierce is back.
Farouk's back, eh? Wow.
Yo, Pierce, last month, you know, you weren't talking after council. I don't know where you were.
Bro, where was I? Oh, in August?
Yeah, in August.